Hello everyone, and in this video we are going to discuss about conditions. So first of all, let's comment this code and uncomment these lines, and I will comment these lines of code as well. So now we will check if some condition is true, then do something, otherwise do something else. So for example, if name is double is equal to Khan, then console.log, and we will write here welcome Khan. Okay. So now if the name is equal to Khan, then we will execute these lines of codes inside these brackets. And to assign value to a variable, we use single equal, but in order to compare it, we use double equals. So let's check the code. So now we can see welcome Khan. Now let's write something else. For example, John here. And now let's refresh the page and you will not see this because the condition here it will be false. So here you cannot see anything. Now let's change it again. If the name is not Khan, okay, then what will we do? We will write an else condition to do something else. For example, else console.log, and we will write here welcome guest. So now you will see welcome Khan, and if we change it to something else, for example John, now you will see welcome guest or welcome someone else, or we can write the name as well. So like for example welcome name. So now the name is Khan, so it is showing Khan. Now let's change it, for example, to Ali. Now you can see welcome Ali. Now let's remove these lines of codes. Now if age double is equal to 20, then console.log age is 20, else show else age is not 20. So now the age is 20. Okay, so now let's write here 20 in quotes. What do you think the result will be? The age is still 20. Okay, because it will check only the numbers and the numbers are equal. But if we write one more equal here, then refresh it and you will see age is not is equal to 20, because this is a string and this is an integer. So the values are equal, but the type is not equal. The type is this one string and this one is the integer. That's why it is not equal. So we see age is not 20 here. So if you are going to check it for the type as well, then use triple equal, otherwise you can write two equals. So now you can see age is 20. So now let's say age is 20, and here you should write congrats, you are eligible for voting. For example, else you are not eligible for voting. So let's refresh the page. As the value is 20, so you can see congrats, you are eligible for voting. Now what if we have 30 age and refresh the page? It still say you are not eligible, but at age 30 you are eligible. So let's say else if age is greater than 20, you are eligible for voting. So now let's refresh it again. You are eligible for voting. But if you just turn 20, this message will be shown. So let's change it to 20. So congrats, you're eligible for voting. Now let's change it to 10. Refresh the page, and now you can see this is executed. You are not eligible for voting because the age is not 20. We check that condition and the age is not 20. We check this condition, the age is not greater than 20. So here by default you are not eligible for voting. Now let's say if you have age 20 or greater than 20, so you are eligible for voting, and if your age is less than 20, then you are not eligible for voting. So let's refresh the page, and now you are eligible for voting. So here we should write you are not eligible for voting. Okay, so here you are not eligible for voting, or we can say less than or equal to 19. Okay, so you are not eligible for voting. So we can say it in this way as well. Now we can remove this statement as well. Okay, so we don't have a need for this. So let's change the age to 40 and refresh the page, and it will work the same way, but we are using now a different syntax. So you can use greater than or equal to as well, or less than or equal to as well. Now let's say we have the pet value is equal to null. So let's assign a value to it. So pet is equal to cat, for example. So if you have a pet, okay, if you have a pet which is, so we can check the condition. If it is not is equal to null, then we will write here console.log you have a pet, otherwise you don't have a pet. So let's say here you have a pet because we assign a value cat to it. So let's comment this out and refresh the page. So now you see you don't have a pet. Now what if we check for two values? Now let's say we look for two different conditions. So if it is not is equal to null, and let's say you are a student or not. So if you are a student, so if the pet is not null and student is false, you have pet and you are not a student. So now let's check it. So you don't have a pet. So in this case, the pet is null as well as the student is false. So let's uncomment this and refresh it. You have a pet and you are not a student. So you are not a student and the pet has a value cat. Okay. So now let's change it to true and now let's refresh it again. So you don't have a pet. Why? Because the pet is not null but the student is false here, and now here we are checking if it is true, so which is not the case. So it will look for both the condition. Only if both conditions are true, then this will be executed, otherwise it will not be executed. So in that case, we see here you don't have a pet because this condition is false, so it will execute this one here. So now let's check for an or condition. So else if say pet is equal to null or student is equal to true, so let's say if pet is not is equal to null and student is true, so you are a student or you have a pet. So let's check it. So you are a student or you have a pet. So in this case, the pet is not null and the student is false, but only one condition is true, so this is executed. So let's comment this out and now let's check it. You don't have a pet because now both the conditions are false here, so this will be executed. So now let's uncomment it and refresh. So you are a student or you have pet. So in and conditions, both the conditions needs to be true. In our condition, if one condition is true, still the condition will be considered as true and the statements inside these blocks will be executed. So that's it for this video now. Thank you and see you in the next video.